Hey everyone, welcome to part 18 of this trophy and achievement guide for Final Fantasy VIII Remastered. Thank you all for coming along on this journey with me, and a special thank you to all of the channel members who helped to support the channel. I really appreciate your support. And now without further ado, let's dive right into it. We just got control of the Ragnarok and we want to get back inside of it now, and if we pull up the full world map, we can actually navigate to where we want to go. We just have to highlight the area like the Esthar Sorceress Memorial, and then we'll push X and we'll say yes, and then the autopilot of the Ragnarok engages and it will take us exactly to where we want to go. It makes traveling around the world very convenient. Now let's park the Ragnarok right outside of the Sorceress Memorial and head inside. We'll then go forward up the stairs and go into the main hallway. There's a draw point on the left side that contains some stop magic, but all of my magic is full on my characters, so what we can do is we can start to transfer some magic around, especially those low level spells we don't need anymore. So go into the menu, choose magic, and then go to exchange, find the magic that you don't want on your characters anymore, like this thunder magic or fire, and we're going to transfer them to one of our reserve party members, such as Irvine. And this is just going to free up some space with our characters so that we can continue to draw from those world draw points. We've still got a little work to do in getting 100 world map draws done to get that trophy, so we're just going to make some progress doing it this way. And now we're going to draw some of the stop magic, and then we can continue going forward and talk to these guards at the top of the stairs. You want to see your comrade off? I'll make an exception. Go ahead. What are you doing here? This is a restricted area. To do what I should have done earlier. I'll never know unless I do it. What are you talking about? I know what I want and what I have to do. There's still a chance. I'm not going to look back. I'm taking Renoa with me. What? You must be joking. It's too late. Go, Squall! Now let's go through the door on the left. Renoa, hold on. I'll get you out in a sec. What am I supposed to do? Come on! Squall, don't! I'm a sorceress! I don't care. Renoa! Squall! Let's go. That man. I've seen him before. What's wrong, Renoa? I'm just a little embarrassed. Why? I was so set on staying in Esthar. But then when you guys rescued me, it made me so happy and... No need to be embarrassed. Yeah, happy is good. Thanks, everybody. Squall, you're awfully quiet. What's up? I have a lot on my mind. As an expert Squall observer, he's thinking, what do we do now? Blah, blah, blah. If you think and worry too much, everything turns to bad. Squall, why don't we just picture a brighter future? Whatever. But seriously, what do we do from here? I'm not really sure, but... Don't we have to do something about that lunatic Pandora and Esthar? After all, the Galbadians are controlling it. Which means Seifer is behind all this too, right? Seifer is Ultimecia's puppet. Yeah, and that Ultimecia! We can't let that sorceress from the future mess up our world. Let's go kick her butt. We're seeds. We're here to destroy sorceresses, right? Zal! Sorry. So, Squall, where are we going? Can we go to the orphanage you guys were talking about in Trebia? That place is in shambles. There's nothing to see there. I want to stay away from places where there are lots of people. I'm a sorceress. If Ultimecia possesses me again... Let's go. Head to Edea's house. All we have to do is open up the map and we can find Edea's house down and to the left of where we currently are. So let's go ahead and engage our autopilot and we'll be there in just a few seconds. And while we fly, you have just enough time to hit that like button and then also comment down below to let me know what so far has been your favorite part of Final Fantasy VIII Remastered. Now that we arrive at Edea's house, we can go ahead and press X to land and then we can go right inside. We can see Angelo is in front of us, and if we give him a second, he's going to run off to the left side, and we can follow him over there to go to an area we've never been before. Oh. Sorry. About what? I'm sure you want to be alone with her. So, Squall, I never thought you were the you know. I'll go get Renoa. Squall, you stay right here. So, what should I talk about when Renoa gets here? Nothing about the sorceress, huh? I'm sure she's trying not to think about it. Who cares if she's a sorceress, right? You don't care either, do you? Renoa's just Renoa. What'll become of me? Don't worry about it. There have been many good sorceresses. Edea was one. You can be like her. But Edea still... I can't guarantee anything either if Ultimecia possesses me again. You saw me. She controlled me in outer space and made me break Adel's seal. What might happen next time? What will I end up doing? Will I end up fighting everyone? Scary thought, isn't it? Renoa, even if you end up as the world's enemy, I'll be your knight. If I fall under Ultimecia's control again, Seed will come kill me, right? And the leader of Seed is you, Squall. Squall's sword will pierce my heart. I guess it's okay if it's you, Squall. Nobody else. Squall, if that ever happens... That's enough. I'll never do anything like that. The sorceress I'm after is not you, Renoa. My enemy is the sorceress from the future, Ultimecia. Ultimecia lives in the future and possesses me. She uses my body as her extension in this world. How? How will you save me? I'll come up with something. There's gotta be a way. Don't worry. Trust me. I trust you. Well, until you find a way, maybe I should stay in Esthar at that memorial. Wouldn't that be better? No, that'd be pointless. I'll just end up going after you again. Renoa, just stay close to me. Oh, those words. What? That's what started everything. What are you talking about? You don't remember? Something I said. Oh, just forget it. No, it's because of the GF. That's why I forgot. That's just an excuse. Feeling better? Yeah. Can I tell you a story? I had a dream. It was a scary dream. We make a promise. We promise to see shooting stars together. I get dressed up and put on your ring. But the thing is, I can't remember where I'm supposed to meet you. I start to panic. I really want to see you, Squall, but I don't know where to go. I start running through the mountains, the desert, the plains, through Timber, Balam, and Galbadia. When I realize I can't run any longer, I just want to see you so badly. So I scream, Squall, where are you? Then I woke up. I was crying. I'm sorry. You don't have to say anything. I just felt like I had to tell you. It was just a dream. It doesn't mean anything. Don't worry about it. I guess you're right. How about this? I'll be here. Why? The reason why you couldn't find me was because we haven't promised yet. Promised? I'll be waiting for you. If you come here, you'll find me. I promise. I'll be here too. It's a promise. Thanks, Squall. Next time, we'll meet for sure. Whoa! Sorry to interrupt, but it's an emergency. We got radio contact from Esthar's presidential palace. They have a plan to defeat Ultimecia. They want to hire Seed to execute it. Might be a trap to get Renoa back in Esthar. Oh, and the guy we spoke to, his name's Kyros. Could he be that Kyros? Kyros is in Esthar's presidential palace? He wants to hire us? Alright, let's go. Let's head out of this screen over toward the right to go back to where we previously were, and then we have to run toward the bottom of the screen to start a conversation with Edea. Squall. There is something I must tell you. It is about me. Yes, I believe it was 13 years ago. This is when my story begins. I first became a sorceress when I was a child, and once again, 13 years ago. That day, right here, I encountered a sorceress on the verge of death. I received her powers of my own will. That sorceress was an entity of fear for my children. I could not let her get to them, but this turned out to be the beginning of my painful story. At this very minute, my bitter story has ended. I now understand there is an end, no matter how painful it may be. Therefore, Squall, you must fight to the end, even though it may bring tragedy to others. And after that uplifting speech, we'll go ahead and leave. Let's go back aboard the Ragnarok. And then once we're inside, we can open up the world map, and we want to choose to go to the Esthar air station, which is to our northeast. And while the autopilot flies us over there, take a listen to the Ragnarok's music. Overall, I think I like it. It's pretty different from a lot of the other Final Fantasy airship themes, but I find that it's maybe a little bit out of place because it seems almost too cheery for the overall tone and mood of the game. When you stop in Esthar, go a little bit further forward, and then you can actually land on the Esthar air station itself. Before you go too far, you should know that now there are monsters roaming all over the city, but we can prevent getting in fights with them by going to Junction and then choosing Zell. We're going to then Junction the Shiva, Diablos, and Cerberus, guarding forces onto him. We can auto-junction his magic toward attack, and then we'll give him Draw, Magic, and Item as his commands, and for abilities he's going to get Auto Haste, Encounter None, and Mug. We're now junctioned properly, but Zell's a little bit low on health, so we'll go to Magic, Zell, Use, and Cure, and now we can give him some health so he's not in critical health anymore. After that, we're going to run toward the bottom of the screen to go into a different area. And then we'll keep going over toward the right before we start running away from our perspective. In this area, we're going to keep running straight over toward the top right corner of the screen. We start on the far left corner of this screen, and then we're going to go over toward the right side. And from here, we can go forward and we can go into the Presidential Palace. We'll go forward and then we'll use the transporter to take us into the palace. Once we get inside, we'll get off the transporter and then go over toward the bottom left corner of the screen, and then we want to continue running straight toward the left. Keep going left and we'll go into a different area. And now we can go through the door, being very loosely guarded by the two soldiers. Ward. Kyros. And that's probably... What is up with this country? Oh, sure. Hey there! Been wanting to meet you guys. You guys are the ones who were inside my head, right? Alone told me. It was like there were some kind of waves running through my head. They gave us so much power during battle. We thought they were some kind of fairies flying over us. So, I'm Laguna, President Laguna Loire of Esthar. Pleased to meet ya. If we weren't in a total state of emergency, I'd talk to you some more, but, well, whatever, let's talk. What do you want to know? You'll never get going if President Laguna keeps talking. So, why don't you guys throw out some questions, and he'll try to answer them. Before we actually talk to Laguna, let's go over and challenge him to a triple triad match. He wants to blend the rules of the lunar region up on the space station with the Esthar rules. We do not want that to happen, so we're going to keep saying no to him over and over again until he stops asking to mix the rules. If we do this, then we're going to play him with a very easy set of rules to follow instead of all the nightmare rules that we had to go along with on the lunar space station. And once you finally get to the point where he no longer asks us if we want to mix rules, then we're going to say yes to him. And as you can see, we only have to deal with the elemental rules, so this is very easy. You can see that I actually won 9-1 against him. He doesn't have very good cards, but he does have the Squall card, which is very important, and I would definitely recommend that you get that because it's important for junctioning later on. And now we can talk to Laguna. Man, you look way too serious. At this point, you can ask questions about Alone, Rain, or Laguna, but if you want to continue along with the story, then say, explain the mission to defeat Ultimecia. Straight to the heart of the matter, just like a workaholic seed. Is it my turn? Yeah, make it short and easy to understand. I will talk however I want. Sorceress Edea told me everything. Sorceress Ultimecia comes from the future to possess the sorceress of present day, meaning she leaves her body in the future and sends only her consciousness here. Does that sound familiar to you? It's like when Alone sent our consciousness back to the past. You're a smart one. My first guess was that someone in the future with an ability like Alone was sending the sorceress back here to our time. But no, that is not the answer. So how does the sorceress come back to this time? You want to hear how? Yes. I kept this a secret to surprise you. It is because of me, Odine. I researched Alone's power long ago. I made out a pattern from the electric current running through Alone's brain. Once the pattern was determined, it was easy to mechanize. It may only be a toy right now, but in the time of Ultimecia, it is an impressive working machine. Which means there is a machine which imitates Alone's power. It is I who made the first model of that machine. I named the machine Junction Machine Alone. It is a wonderful thing to know that my invention is used in the future. Junction Machine Alone. That's about it. So, Sorceress Ultimecia came to know about Alone from that machine. And L became Ultimecia's target. You can't blame Odine, it's useless. You want to go outside? You want to fisticuffs? Okay, we continue the story. Let's see. There is only one way to defeat Ultimecia. You must kill her in the future. There is nothing we can do unless we go to the future. There is no way to jump to the future under normal circumstances. But there is still a way. It is because Sorceress Ultimecia plans to compress time. Compressing time with magic, what good will it do for the sorceress to compress time? There may be many reasons, but it doesn't matter. Let's just figure out what Ultimecia is up to. In order for Artemisia to exist in this time, she must take over the body of a sorceress from the present. But the machine must have a limit. Artemisia probably needs to go back further in time to achieve time compression. Only alone can take her back further into the past. That is why she is desperately seeking her. We must take advantage of Alone's power. There are two sorceresses in our time, Sorceress Renoa and Sorceress Edea. Of the two, Edea has not awakened yet. Once her generation is completed, neither Laguna nor I will be safe. Sorceress Edea is probably in the process of awakening inside Lunatic Pandora. Artemisia will want to possess Edea if Edea wakes up. That will be a horrible event. Edea is a horrible sorceress. If Edea's consciousness wins over Artemisia, Edea will first destroy this era. So we must use Sorceress Renoa to inherit Artemisia's powers. That is all for the mission briefing. First, go to Lunatic Pandora. Alone's probably being held captive inside, so rescue her first. Then kill Sorceress Edea before the awakening process is completed. Now we're left with Renoa as the only sorceress of this era. Then wait for Artemisia to possess Renoa. When Artemisia arrives, it's Alone's turn. Alone will send Renoa back to the past with Artemisia. Alone will have to send Renoa and Artemisia inside another sorceress she knows in the past. Edea or Edea, that's up to Alone. Once Artemisia is in the past, she'll use the time compression magic. We will see some influence here. I don't know what kind of influence, but once Alone feels it, she'll cut Renoa and Artemisia off from the past. Renoa will come back to this world. Artemisia also goes back to her own world. What will be left is a time-compressed world. Past, present, and future will all get mixed together. You will keep moving through the time compression towards the future. Once you're out of the time compression, that will be Artemisia's world. It's all up to you after that. Let's keep talking to Laguna. So, you were briefed about the mission? I don't really understand it either. Will you do it? Yes. Alright. Let's go. We'll get aboard Ragnarok. Let's do the final briefing in there. I always wanted to ride that thing, plus the name sounds so cool. Alright. Everyone? From here, we go straight to our final target, Artemisia. Let's go over the plan again. First, enter Lunatic Pandora and rescue Alone. Next, you'll fight Sorceress Edea. It'll be a surprise attack. Show no mercy. Now, here comes the tricky part. Edea will need to pass on her powers before being defeated. Renoa, will you be willing to accept them? Yes. Good. Next, we wait for Sorceress Artemisia to possess Renoa. This will be hard on you, Renoa, but will you do it? Yes. That's the spirit. Then Alone sends Renoa and Artemisia to the past. Alone brings back Renoa. Then head to the future through compressed time. Ultimacia lives far in the future where none of us can technically exist. There's only one way to make yourself exist in a world like that. As friends, don't forget one another. As friends, believe in one another. Believe in your friend's existence, and they'll also believe in yours. To be friends, to like one another, and to love one another. You can't do these things alone. You need somebody. Right, guys? What place reminds you of your friends? Imagine being in that place with all your friends. Once time compression begins, think of that place and try to get there. That's all. That place will welcome you. You'll be able to get there no matter what period you're in. You need love and friendship for this mission, and the courage to believe it. It's all about love, friendship, and courage. I'm counting on you guys. Love and friendship and all that sounds corny, but everyone seems to be up for it. You think it'll succeed? We'll try. Now let's turn over toward the left, and we're going to go over toward the rocky ground area, and we just have to park the Ragnarok somewhere over here so that we can get out. Now we're going to change up our party a little bit so that we're ready for the next section. Let's open up the menu and then go down to Switch. And we want to exchange Renoa for Quistis. Now we'll go to Junction Exchange and give everything on Renoa over to Quistis. We also need Zell for this next part, so make sure he's in the party. After that, we're going to leave out of here and we're going to go up to the Junction menu, and we're going to go to Quistis. We'll choose Auto and then Magic. For her abilities, we're going to give her Draw Magic Card and then Auto Haste, but we'll remove Vitality plus 60% and we'll use Initiative instead, and we'll keep Magic plus 40%. Now we'll go over to Squall. We will also do Auto and Magic, and then for his abilities, he has Draw Magic Item, Auto Haste, Strength plus 40%, and HP plus 40%. Now let's go over to Zell. We will hit Auto and Magic, and then for his abilities, he gets Draw Magic Item, Auto Haste, Encounter None, and Mug. Once your party is all set up, then what we want to do is go into the Magic menu. It looks like Quistis is a little bit low on health, so we're going to use some Magic, Quistis, use Cure, and then get our party back up to good health. Finally, let's go ahead and save the game before we go to our next destination. Let's hop aboard the Ragnarok and then pull up the big world map. Our destination is going to be in the very bottom left-hand corner, so the quickest way to get there is to fly directly toward the east to loop around the world and then start heading toward the south so that we can get to the bottom corner. So we'll turn and then head east until we loop around the map and end up on the far west side of the map. And then once you're there, turn toward the right and start heading immediately toward the south. When you get close to the bottom of the map, then you're going to see a formation in the water here. This is the Deep Sea Research Center, and we can land right on it. Now we'll go forward and we'll get a scene. Where in the world is this? Hey, I know this place. Know-it-all Zell to the rescue again, baby. Ready for a little story time, Squall? We'll say, let's hear it. Let's hear it. Okay, here it goes. This island's most likely that mobile research facility. Huh? aka Battleship Island. So what did they research? Basically, they were trying to develop a draw system like ours. They probably traveled all over the world to gather different energy and materials for their research. I don't know how the heck it ended up here. I heard they did some hardcore research here. They even used GF for experiments. To science geeks, it was Treasure Island. What? You think I'm BSing? No. Maybe I should give this guy more credit. We'll head on toward the right to go inside the building. Looks like it's been abandoned for years. What is that big blue thing? What is it? Watch that light, there's something resonating. Let's check out the core. We might find out more about it. The blue light leads all to death. Turn back. If you've ever played the game Red Light, Green Light, this is similar to that, only it's a blue light, no light. If you walk while the blue light is active, you're going to be forced into a fight. Luckily, it's against a bunch of pretty weak monsters, and because we have the initiative ability on Quistis, we should be able to escape very quickly before the enemy has a chance to attack. Now we just need to be careful about only walking toward the big blue light while the light is completely off. You need to be careful though, because there will be times where it seems like the light is going down, but then it will immediately pick back up again and then it can trap you. So just make sure all of the light is gone with all of those little squares floating around it, and then when you don't see any of them, then you can proceed forward. You can usually get in between 1 to 3 steps before the light turns back on, so this is kind of a slow process. You just have to go all the way toward the right hand side and then start working your way over toward the core. Here's a good example of the light trying to trick you by almost going out and then popping back up right before it fades all the way. Just be careful, take your time, and if you screw up, it doesn't really matter because you can just run away from the fights. And eventually you'll make it all the way to the core. So you wish to challenge me? We'll say it's not our will to fight. And then we're put into a fight against our old friend, the Ruby Dragon. At my current level, he has right around 7,000 HP or so you need to be a little bit careful not to over attack him and accidentally kill him. Squall is going to do about 1,500 damage or so probably doing about 3 attacks with Squall should be good to get him to be able to be carded. You can also have Zell attack and try to mug an Inferno Fang out of him, though it's not really required for anything, but feel free to do it if you're so inclined. That's all there is to say about this fight, so I'm just going to skip ahead toward the end, and then we're going to continue on. Because we carded the Ruby Dragon, we get no experience, but we still get all the AP, and that 14 AP was enough for Cerberus to learn Alert and Tonberry to learn Call Shop. When it asks if we're begging for mercy, say never. And then we're going to be put into a fight with another Ruby Dragon. We'll do the same thing as before. We'll attack it with Squall a couple times, and then once it's good and weakened, we can go ahead and card it. And at this point, Pandemona learned Speed Junction, which is very important. We are then asked, why do you wish to fight? And we want to choose the hidden third option, which is found below none of your business. And this option is actually, it's our nature. There is no real reason. Maybe we were born only to fight. I see. Interesting. And now we're put into a fight against the Great Guardian Forest Bahamut. Luckily for us though, this guy's super easy. At all levels, Bahamut will be able to give us the full life magic, so let's go ahead and start drawing full life out of him with all of our party members. Thanks to our high magic stat, we should be drawing 9 full lives with every single character every time, which means that it should take 11 draws each to get to 100 full lives. Bahamut can do a normal physical attack, which does a little bit of damage. He can also use Thundaga to do a decent amount of magical damage. And he can then also use Tornado, which hits all party members. But if you're junctioned properly, then you might even be able to absorb some of this as health. If you start getting low on health, you can also draw Curaga and cast it onto your party members to keep them nice and full on health. And that is important because Bahamut has a very powerful ability called Mega Flare, which will do many thousands of damage to each party member. So just make sure that you're not getting low on health. After he hits you with Mega Flare, then go back to drawing and casting Curaga on all of your party members just to get them back up to full health. Continue the process of drawing full lives out of him, and once everyone is fully stocked, then you want to go on the offense. You've got 2 good options for fighting him. Either use your physical attacks or draw and cast the Flare spell onto him. Zell looks like isn't doing a whole lot of damage with the flares, so I would recommend just sticking to the Mug ability and try to mug Bahamut. We'll have Squall use his normal physical attack and boost it with the trigger command to do extra damage, and then Quistis is going to do good damage by drawing and casting Flare. At this level, Bahamut will have right around 18 to 20,000 HP, and if we're doing about 4,000 damage total between all of our party members each round of attack, well, that means that it should take, I don't know, maybe 5, maybe 6 rounds or so in order to get rid of all of Bahamut's health, and then he'll go down. And that's really all there is to this fight. It's just a matter of drawing full lives for everyone, keeping our party members alive with the Curaga spell, and then attacking him with either magic or physical attacks, and he'll go down in no time. Because Bahamut's a boss, we don't get any experience points. We're guaranteed to get a Hyper Wrist either through stealing it or by getting the drop. He gives us the Bahamut card and 40 AP, which is probably enough for a lot of your Guardian Forces to learn some new abilities. But more important than any of that, we get the Bahamut Trophy or achievement because we have a new Guardian Force, Bahamut. Go ahead, choose a name for him. I'm going to stick with the default of Bahamut. Another path to your destiny awaits. You are indeed an interesting one, brimming with passion. If you do not see a new save point in this room, head on out toward the left-hand side and then return to the Ragnarok. Now press triangle to go into the cockpit and talk to all of your party members. We'll talk to Quistis, and then Zell, and then Renoa, and finally we'll go and talk to Irvine. We're fighting Seifer, right? Let's really give it to him. Is Seifer in there? Is he there of his own will? Then I guess we have no choice. And talking to Irvine will allow you to choose that you're ready to go, and that will actually put you in control of the Ragnarok. We want to immediately land back on the Deep Sea Research Center and then head back inside. And that should cause that save point to actually appear. So let's go ahead and save the game right now. And this is where we're going to end part 18. In part 19, we're going to keep going further down below, and we're going to get a brand new Guardian Force, and I'll also show you how to defeat one of the super bosses of this game very easily. So I can't wait to bring that to you. I'll see you soon in part 19. Until then, thanks for watching, and have a good day.